Today we're on a journey through the captivating history of Bitcoin, from its mysterious beginnings to the dawn of a new era, the era of spot ETFs. Buckle up because this digital gold rush is packed with fascinating twists, turns, and groundbreaking developments. It all started in 2008 when a mysterious figure named Satoshi Nakamoto sparked a financial revolution with the publication of the Bitcoin white paper outlining the concept of a decentralized digital currency. Satoshi proposed a world where money moved to the rhythm of complex math and computers, not concrete bank vaults. Then on January 3rd, 2009, Satoshi created the Genesis block, mining 50 bitcoins in the process. Since then, miners have used computational power to solve complex math equations to mine new blocks, receiving new bitcoin and transaction fees as a reward. Each block contains information about the transactions made using Bitcoin, and these blocks are chained together to create the public Bitcoin blockchain or digital ledger. The Genesis block was block 0, and it ignited the golden flames of Bitcoin forever. Now, there were no exchanges in Bitcoin's early history. However, the first priced transaction mediated through an exchange occurred in late 2009, when 5,050 bitcoins were traded for just $5.02 via PayPal, pricing each bitcoin at less than 1/10 of 1 cent. Since then, Bitcoin's journey has been an absolute roller coaster of a ride. In 2010, early adopters witnessed the iconic May 22nd Pizza Day extravaganza, where 10,000 bitcoins were used to buy just 2 Papa John's pizzas. This legendary day marked the first time that a virtual currency was used to purchase a physical object. It then took over a year from the Genesis block before Bitcoin's price surpassed just 10 cents. There were skeptics galore, calling it a digital fad destined to fade. But Bitcoin, timeless and resilient, kept snowballing and building a passionate community who saw its potential to disrupt the status quo. Bitcoin first crossed the $1 mark in February 2011, and just a few months later rose to nearly $30. Then, a major Bitcoin exchange called Mt. Gox got hacked, with user data leaked and funds stolen. This sent shockwaves throughout the community and contributed to Bitcoin's price falling to as low as $2. It seemed then that the Bitcoin fad was over, but over time and despite the chaos, Bitcoin emerged stronger, proving its resilience and the unwavering faith of those who understood its value. Starting at a price of around $5 in January 2012, Bitcoin's price slowly increased through 2012. Then in November 2012, another iconic moment occurred: Bitcoin's very first halving. Roughly every 4 years, the mining rewards for Bitcoin are cut in half. Think of this as a built-in flow valve that automatically decreases the amount of new Bitcoin entering the market every 4 years until the year 2140, when all 21 million Bitcoins will be mined. This increasing scarcity is what makes Bitcoin inherently valuable. With renewed vigor from the halving, Bitcoin closed 2012 at a price of around $14. Then came 2013, a year of intense volatility for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's price flew up and down for most of 2013, from lows in the teens to highs of over $1,200. 2013 marked an important point in Bitcoin's history in the United States, as this was the first year that Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, was created. 2013 also saw the world's first Bitcoin ATM installed in Vancouver, as well as the Cyprus financial crisis, which actually helped people recognize Bitcoin as a safe haven, a digital fortress away from the turmoil of traditional finance. This marked a turning point, showcasing Bitcoin's potential as a hedge against economic uncertainty. However, not everyone felt that way, as this same year, the People's Bank of China banned financial institutions from using Bitcoin. In 2014, Mt. Gox struck yet again when it halted withdrawals and eventually filed for bankruptcy, contributing to Bitcoin's price plummeting to around $110. This did not last long though, and within 5 days, the price was back to almost $600 before gradually declining and ending 2014 at a price of around $320. 2015 and 2016 were relatively calm years for Bitcoin compared to its previous years, but there was still a general uptrend. 2015 ended at a price of around $430, and 2016 ended with Bitcoin trying to push $1,000 yet again. In the midst of this trading, in July 2016, Bitcoin experienced its second halving, cutting rewards for miners and increasing scarcity yet again. Bitcoin then experienced a meteoric rise in 2017. This bull run propelled it into the mainstream spotlight, attracting both enthusiastic investors and cautious observers, pushing Bitcoin's price to a peak of over $19,000 by December 2017. That same month, Bitcoin futures began trading on the Chicago Board Options Exchange, increasing legitimacy, accessibility, and interest. However, as the saying goes, buy the hype, sell the news. Bitcoin's price began to slide and closed 2017 at under $14,000. Much of 2018 was then spent in a continued downtrend as traders took profits from the bullish momentum of the previous year, with Bitcoin closing in 2018 at around $3,700. Bitcoin then faced a different type of test with the 2019-2020 global pandemic. Despite the fear and tragedy of the time, the pandemic actually led to renewed interest in Bitcoin, as it was becoming more and more recognized as a store of value. By the end of 2019, Bitcoin was holding at just under $7,200. The financial markets then recovered quickly from the pandemic, and Bitcoin was no exception. This was in part thanks to Federal Reserve stimulus liquidity. Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy then began converting company cash holdings into Bitcoin in 2020 as a hedge against the eroding threat of inflation. 2020 also marked the third Bitcoin halving in May, and by the end of 2020, Bitcoin's price had skyrocketed to almost $29,000. That bullish momentum carried into 2021, pushing the price to above $64,000. However, Bitcoin then experienced some turbulence in its price, in part due to China banning all cryptocurrency transactions, but despite this, Bitcoin pressed onwards. 2021 marked the arrival of the first Bitcoin futures ETF. This year also marked a historic moment when the first country, El Salvador, became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender, requiring all businesses to accept it for transactions. These were pivotal moments, marking Bitcoin's growing acceptance within the traditional finance system. With legitimacy growing and improved ability for investors to access Bitcoin, Bitcoin's price experienced significant growth, reaching a new high of nearly 69,000 in November 2021, before dropping later on to close the year at just over $46,000. Despite the successes of 2020 and 2021, Bitcoin entered a massive bear market in 2022, largely influenced by global economic factors, including rising inflation and interest rates, Russia's war in Ukraine, and the collapse of major cryptocurrency exchanges, including FTX. Also, despite previous attempts, Grayscale's application to convert GBTC into a spot ETF was again denied by the SEC in 2022, which led Grayscale to file a petition with the courts for appeal. Collectively, these events led to prices crashing to lows of around $16,000, with Bitcoin ending 2022 at a price of just under $17,000. But the turn of the year from 2022 to 2023 finally brought a resurgence of buying pressure and interest, with prices recovering back to over $42,000 by the end of 2023, despite looming pressures from regulators cracking down on the cryptocurrency industry. A massive victory then came for the United States in August 2023 when the appeal courts determined that the SEC's decision to reject the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF application was arbitrary and capricious, forcing the SEC to re-evaluate its decision. Indeed, SEC Chair Gary Gensler later stated that this court decision was what ultimately changed the Commission's approach to spot Bitcoin ETFs. Additionally, in 2023, despite its past opinions, even China said that it will place great importance to the development of the cryptocurrency industry in the future, showing promise for global adoption. And finally, in 2024 came the dawn of a new era, the era of the spot Bitcoin ETFs. On Wednesday, January 10th, 2024, the SEC announced the approval of a number of spot Bitcoin exchange-traded products, with Gary Gensler himself being among the majority who voted in favor of the approval. These ETFs, or more accurately ETPs, then began trading live the very next day. These game changers allow anyone to invest in Bitcoin, just like they do with stocks or bonds. This opens the floodgates for broader adoption. Businesses are integrating Bitcoin, institutional and individual investors are flocking in, and even entire governments are exploring its potential. The approval of these spot ETFs was also just in time for Bitcoin's April 2024 halving, continuing the trend of combining decreasing supply with increasing demand. In many ways, the Bitcoin revolution is only just getting started. The future of money is being reimagined as decentralized, digital, and full of possibilities. All in all, Bitcoin has a profound history despite being only 15 years old, from Genesis to spot ETFs, and it all started at Genesis with the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video to spread the Bitcoin knowledge.